Capricorn horoscope for November 2014 with me, Lada from Astrolada.com, and for everyone who have their ascendants on the moon in Capricorn. And you can find out your ascendant sign or moon sign if you know the exact time of your birth from, well, at least within 10-15 minutes, the exact time, from my birth chart calculator, from the planetary detail table below the charts. And there is a link for the birth chart calculator here. So what happens for you, Capricorns? It's interesting months, actually. It might be tense at certain moments, but definitely you're getting energized. It's definitely a very active month for a lot of Capricorns. Because, first of all, let's see, you have Mars, the planet of energy, which will be in your sign for the whole month of November. And this usually happens once every 2.5 years that Mars is in your sign. And what is Mars? Mars is a warrior. Mars is self-discipline. Mars is the god of war. Mars is the god of process. Mars is the planet of initiation and courage and taking action. So all these things come into you. You know, all this, if you've been feeling a bit like, well, recently, now you get energized. Now you feel like, okay, time to act, you know. And you might feel a bit more stressed than normal because Mars is this energy which increases your blood pressure and which stresses you a bit more, putting some pressure on you overall. So it's good to exercise for this, to offset the energy. If you feel more negative, not negative, you feel more like irritable and restless because Mars is this energy of, you know. It's good advice, you know, to work out more, to eat less meat, because eating red meat in particular even more agitates the energy of Mars, makes you more vicious. And you want the more positive qualities of Mars, which is initiative, but, you know, not by stepping on other people's toes, not by hurting others. You might feel at moments in November that you want to burst out and take a gun and go shoot people. And especially in the period from the 10th till the 15th of November, when Mars is difficultly aspected by two other planets, which are kind of cruel, which irritate Mars even more, like someone poking the soldier there, you know, firing at him. So Mars wants to fire back and retaliate and, you know, take critical actions. But be careful from the 10th till the 15th because, you know, the energy is stressful. So you might do and take some actions which you later regret, say some words, you know, that you might find yourself in some crisis situations that you have to solve. And just to warn you, it's a very quick crisis situation. It will be resolved quickly if you keep your head level, if you keep level-headed. If you don't go out blowing your guns and, you know, if you have to say something, if someone hurt you or if you are angry about something, wait a few days. Wait at least a couple of days or one day to see how you feel on the next day, because I'm sure that the storm of Mars would have subsided and you would be looking at things not through blood-reded, angry eyes, but through more rational eyes. So try to maybe go to the gym around those days a bit more. And if you have some important tasks to do, and if you're challenged in some way, try not to react to people. Because you will feel like a bull that wants to charge. You'll feel like, that's it. But overall, the rest of the month, Mars can manifest itself more difficultly, you know, at certain periods, especially from 10 till 15, and especially those who have their ascendant on their moon in Capricorn from around 9 till 15 degrees. 9 till 15 degrees in Capricorn. They have to be careful in the middle of the month for what I said. For more critical situation, keep level-headed, don't get involved, don't answer if you don't want to exacerbate the situation. Or if you're basically born, what is it? It means you're born when, from around the 1st of January to around the 6th of January, even from the 31st of January to around, December to around the 5th, 6th of January, you have to be more careful because it's a bit more critical period for you. You might have to sort some problems around the middle of the month. But the rest of the month, for most Capricorns, it will be a very productive month because Mars pushes you into action, initiating new things. You might even initiate new health regimes because the first house is your vitality, your physical energy. And you might feel more driven to exercise. You might have more energy to do this. If not, it turns more into frustration, or you might have more energy into starting some projects, into getting some work done. But overall, you come across quite strongly. You're very opinionated during this period. That's why there might be clashing of opinions with others as well, authority figures or family members. You have to be careful. But at the same time, you're in a very problem-solving state of mind, which is great. You know, problem-solving. Mars is a problem-solving planet. And if you have a good plan, Mars will help you put it into action or fix some things in your life around, you know. Or some of you might have to lead a battle of some sort. And it's going to be a short-lived battle, don't worry. It's very quick influence. It's 1 month only. But they might have to assert themselves more. And it might come good to some Capricorns because they might need more assertion, you know. This can play a good trick on them, not good trick, but good results in them, especially if it's not assertion which comes from around the 10th to the 15th, which can be more offensive to others or more backfire on you. But the rest of the time it might be more positive. So any kind of actions which require courage, which require physical energy of you, which require a push, which require more self-discipline, more physical muscle as well, and more assertiveness and strong opinions, you can go for those things and do them. Okay, but don't forget that you'll be more irritable than normal. But still, I love when Mars is in my sign. It's, you know, it gives me more energy to be harder working, to get things done. And then there is a big conglomeration of planets transiting your 11th house. And 11th house is a very social house. So November might be one of those months for a lot of Capricorns, whether it's your ascendant or moon or sun. Particularly if it's your ascendant, and if it's your sun, you'll feel it. Maybe women will feel more their moon if it's in Capricorn. They might, you know, you might be this month where you're invited to more social dues, because the 11th house is the social environment around us. It's our social peer group. It's society and the appreciation and acceptance we receive from society. So with Venus and Mercury going there, you might form some new relationships and friendships. These are more friendship relationships. You can network better with peer group people, whether from your work or if you want to expand your influence on others. Now is the time, because you have a far-reaching, the planets help you have more far-reaching and impactful influence on others. If you want to rally around you, maybe supporters or benefactors or people who support you, like-minded people who appreciate you, now can be the time. It will not be fully without any hitches, because Saturn is also there. And Saturn always makes you have to work for it hard, and can bring some, you know, certain obstacles. But if you apply yourself with your charm, your charisma, because Mercury and Venus help a lot for good communication. Mercury helps with that good communications with friends, with peers, in a social circle. Venus makes you be more charming with them, so you can form some good friendships which are beneficial for you. And it doesn't even have to be friendship. It can be just like acquaintances and networks somehow. People who are involved in group organizational work, who work with groups of people, who work something for the society, something more humanitarian. People who are who need to cooperate with others in big groups as well. They might have a very productive and busy month. And 11th house rules titles and honors, so some of you might have a step forward towards achieving some type of title, maybe graduating something, maybe getting some honors, you know. And some of you might be, you know, just more sociable overall. And it's 11th house is a gainful house, so often people reap gains from work well done, from hard work well done. But this is not things that come to you out of the blue. These are things that you've worked for hard. These are things that you've put your effort into, and then they start paying off when your 11th house is triggered, the house of rewards and gains. So it's more gainful months, you know, for some Capricorns can be. The efforts from their hard work can start bringing some results. And friendships, of course, might be very busy, meeting friends and, you know, being socially active, going to luncheons or whatever. And networking. And at the same time, Saturn is the planet that rules you, Capricorn, and Saturn will have 3 conjunctions, which means wherever Saturn is in the sky, And if it joins with another planet, you receive the energy of that planet for the time being, for a few days while Saturn is joined with that planet. And it first starts from around the 30th of November, when Saturn, a day before and a day after, is joined with Venus in the sky, which is good for Capricorns. Even though this is the stressful period I told you about, from the 10th to the 15th, when Mars can wreak some havoc and make people more kind of, say things they don't mean and overreact and be more stressed. This will definitely be there, especially for the dates that I mentioned and the people who are born. But at the same time, Venus joining your planet in the sky can almost like, Venus is the planet of the diplomat. So even if something backfires, some critical situation, some irritation, some argument happens around, some fight, happens around that time, as if Venus will help you be more reasonable, level-headed, and more charming, and get out of the situation more, with less negative consequences. And Venus is also the planet of love. So for some of you, it's not a very strong influence. It lasts just for 2-3 days, maybe around the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, or 15th, When Venus joins Saturn, some of you might have like a date, some of you might have a romantic experience. Some of you might have some pleasurable, enjoyable experience of the 5 senses, which is what Venus rules. Maybe good food, good restaurant. Even though you might be a bit stressed at the same time because of the Mars transits happening, Venus will make sure that some good things come as well. Good things of the 5 senses, of pleasure, of beautiful women, or some kind of dating possible as well. Some relationship development happening. Let's hope that Mars doesn't ruin this. And then around the 18th of November, Saturn, your planet, joins with the Sun. And the Sun is the planet of goals. And basically maybe a day before that and a day before after that, so 17th, 18th, 19th, a lot of Capricorns, especially if your ascendant is in Capricorn, because then Saturn rules your whole chart, your whole life path. If your ascendant is in Capricorn, you might have some important career developments around the 18th of November. Maybe some career projects, some might even get a job, or some might get some kind of a recognition, because the Sun is the planet that shines, that gets seen, recognized, But at the same time, the Sun combusts Saturn, which is another thing is that when the Sun combusts Saturn, the Sun is authority figure. So in the worst case scenario, there might be some authority figure that is kind of putting demands on you, or maybe that there is some kind of, not even conflict, but let's say burns your wings, so to speak, around the 18th. And people feel more agitated when the Lord of the ruler of the whole horoscope, Saturn, is combust, because the Sun agitates, it burns, again, a little bit of this anger that Mars has, it will come up again probably around the 18th of November. But if you are cautious, and if you're careful, you can have some important career developments happen around that time. Just be careful for authority figure clashes. And then around the 26th of November, maybe a day before, maybe a day after, sometimes a couple of days before or after, 26th of November, Mercury joins your planet. And Mercury is the planet of business, is the planet of communication. So some of you, especially if your ascendant is in Capricorn, will have some very important conversations, some very important maybe deals going through, negotiations, maybe some important news can come to you. Maybe you might feel like people are calling you more around that time, or you might have more administrative tasks to get done, or something to manage, something to arrange. Mercury is the manager, the arranger of, practical tasks of left brain activity, like organizing, systemizing information, communication. So this is a period, or if you want to talk, or if you want to do a presentation around that time, around the 26th of November, is a good period for you to do it. So this is for you, Capricorns. Thank you very much. Interesting, dynamic month. I hope you enjoyed. Be out and about, be there. 11th house is very lit up for you. So you have to be sociable. You have to, even if you don't want to, you'll probably be put in this situation. Thank you.